Well, it is December 2020, and it's just about dark. It's about 5 o'clock out here. And I thought it'd be a good time to come back on the property and do a little solo camp. And I've got my firewood cut, got it in the fire pit. I'm going to light that in a minute and just kick back and listen to the night. It is deer season, but we don't allow deer hunting on the property unless we're doing it. So anyway, I thought it'd be a good time to share a new report that I just received. And the report itself is not new. It's from the early 90s, but it's new as far as me receiving it. And I went to print it off before I come down here, and my printer has conveniently ran out of ink, and I live 30 miles from town. I'm not going to drive in and get a new ink cartridge for it. So I hand wrote what this gentleman shared with me here, and he gave me permission to use the report in a video. He just said don't use my name, so I won't. And before I get started, that goes for anybody out there. If you have a report of a Bigfoot sighting or just another odd thing you saw in the woods and you'd like to share it with me, just send me an email to bigfootandmore@yahoo.com. That's bigfootandmore@yahoo.com. If you'd like me to share it on the YouTube channel, just say so. If you don't, that's fine too. I'd still love to hear about it. But anyway, we'll get right to it. And this, considering if I can read my own handwriting. But this he said, was in the fall of 1992. And he said he was cutting firewood at the edge of his property near the Muddy Boggy Creek. Now, the Muddy Boggy Creek runs through southern Hughes County on down into Cole County and then just keeps going. But anyway, he was cutting firewood on his property near the Muddy Boggy Creek. I communicated with him. He says very, very brushy down there, and it is. It's like this down below me. I'm near a creek here. But he said it was midday, and he said he was just about ready to call it a day. He said, I had just finished loading what wood I could into my pickup and was putting my saw away. And he said then he caught sight of something out of the corner of his eye. It just seemed out of place. And he said he looked over into the heavy timber that bordered the creek, and he noticed a large reddish-brown figure standing upright behind a large tree. He said, I don't know exactly how tall it was, but he said, I'm around 5'9", and he said it was considerably taller than me. He said, I could only see a part of it from behind the tree, and he said his first thought that came to mind is he thought it must be a bear standing up on its hind legs behind the tree. He said, my first thought was it must be a bear, and he said that would be rare here. He said, I've never seen a bear here, but he said all he could think of was it would be a bear because he couldn't think of anything else that would fit that description. So anyway, he said, I stared at it for a little while, and then he said it just turned and walked away into the brush toward the creek, which is directly away from him. Him thinking it was a bear. Southeast Oklahoma, bear are very common. We have a bear season even down here. Now, you get more towards the central area of the state, which this is getting close to right here. This is considered east central. You'll see a bear once in a while, but it's very rare. But anyway, that's all he could equate what it might be, was a bear. But anyway, he said it walked away into the brush toward the creek. He said it never went down on all fours. It just walked away like a man would. He said, I left very quickly then. He said it just downright scared me. And he said it was several days before he went back down there to get the rest of the wood. So he said, goes on to say, he said, I've never seen anything like that before, and he said, I have not seen anything like that since. But he said, you can, and that's where he cut it off, and he said, you can share this story if you want, just do not use my name. So, now, I know where this area was that this gentleman's talking about, and as the crow flies, you go south and east of me, I'd say not more than 7 or 8 miles from right where I'm standing right here. So is it possible to see a Sasquatch in this area where I'm at now? Yes, it very much could be, because this is thick woodland. Now right there is pasture and then my house, but right here this joins on to some heavy wooded area, and that if you go south from here, it doesn't let up for about as far as you can go. So it's prime habitat for anything that's wanting to stay hidden. So anyway, that is this report, and like I said, I'm gonna go start my campfire and kick back, and I've might do a little book review here in a little bit, and just kick back and listen to what we can hear tonight. But anyway, like I say, if you're enjoying the content of this channel, if you like what I'm doing with it, I'd encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have a report of your own that you'd like to share or have shared on this channel, again, send me an email at bigfootandmore@yahoo.com, and I'd be glad to take a look at it and glad to share it if you would like. Anyway, you guys, till next time, take care.